Welcome back. Thank you for coming back to my channel. In this episode, we'll be talking about what's next after you fill out your application process in terms of becoming an international nurse. But before we delve into that matter, you know what to do. Please press the subscribe button on and press the notification button if you like the content that I am producing. So in today's video, we'll be talking about what's next after you submitted your application process, what's next if you're going with an agency. And I'm here to tell you that if you're going with an agency and you fill out the application process and you're accepted to start with the agency, the next step in the process would be credentialing. And we know what is credentialing in terms of this is where the agency will vet the documents that you submitted. Your bachelor's, your transcript is also needed. Your transcript, and they'll use a CGFNS, and this is an international body that vets all working professionals who have a graduate or undergraduate degree before working in other countries, and they basically use this especially in the US. After your documents are submitted and the credentialing process is okay, you then will be moving into a program which most company has in terms of Nclex preparation. Now the Nclex preparation, or the Nclex, is a national state board for licensing of nurses. I'm going to put it down here. And this is a test that everyone, especially in the US, once you graduate from a degree program or if you do associates, you have to have the Nclex done. And this is basically the exam that will let you know if you're a nurse or not. Now, for my international trained nurses, you too have to complete this exam, a very rigorous exam. And I'm here to tell you, honey, it's not easy. It's hard. I'm not telling you a lie, it is hard. Speaking nothing but the truth and everything but the truth. And all my co-workers and colleagues can tell you, I never hear anybody say it's easy. But with adequate preparation, you can prevent failure. So they're going to have, as an agency, they're going to have a program that facilitates you in terms of preparation for the Nclex. I think it lasts for around 6 months. 6 months of studying. So some advice I'm going to give you guys: when you start your process for the Nclex, please make sure you're doing nothing else but studying for the Nclex. You're going to have to cut down your social time, your social life, and just be focusing on the Nclex. Now with this, they're going to provide you with educational materials. Some agencies, and based on my experience, the agency that I use, there are two best resources that I'll say to anybody that they can use. It includes Kaplan and UWorld. Now these are two resources that you can use to help you to prepare you for the Nclex. When I was doing it, I utilized the Kaplan, and I even reached out to my recruiter and asked her, because I utilize both UWorld and the Kaplan, and I have to ask her, why is it we're using the Kaplan? The Kaplan is so hard, and she's saying that is why the agency uses it, because the Kaplan, it is so hard, it is harder than the Nclex. So if you master Kaplan, you will master the Nclex. Now UWorld is another good resource. UWorld basically is like a Q bank with all your multiple choice questions. Many people practice with UWorld and give good reviews to UWorld, and it was very good for me. Now you'll be doing monthly testing, weekly testing, monthly conferences with teachers guiding you through the process. And remember, we took our national or our local state boards before we do in our home country. So it is practically building on the knowledge. And for me personally, I strongly believe that the Nclex is basically critical thinking. It's lots of critical thinking, and you have to use the strategies that they provide you with. Based on the course that I took with my agencies, we had various strategies that we had to utilize, and they work for me. Just a suggestion for you: use your ABCs, airway, breathing, and circulation. Do that cross elimination and your ABCs. Also using a Maslow hierarchy of needs to look at the answers and determine the best one for you. And as nurses, you know what is Maslow hierarchy of needs. We know about our airway, breathing, and circulation. It's alphabetical, so we're basically looking at what comes first and determine if it is airway that takes precedence. Now, once you do this in terms of your preparation, you'll be getting grades right throughout, and you'll also have a final exam. Now, the final exam is what determines if you're ready for the Nclex. So after you finish all of that training, I think it is 3 months or 6 months. Don't bet me on that one. I stand corrected if I am. So after you do that, you have a final exam to take. Once you take that exam, you have to score over, I think you have to score more than 70%. It has to be 80% that you score, and then after you get your final score, you're then ready to take the Nclex. Another bit of advice for you guys: study every day. Get up every day and study. That was the advice I got, and I used it, and it worked. I studied every day leading up to my final exam. When I took the final exam, I took up I used UWorld and multiple choice Q banks, what they provided, and I practiced every day. Every day I practiced. The next thing, I practiced every day until the day of my exam. Now, after that, they will set you up for taking the Nclex, and you have different testing centers for the Nclex. Unfortunately, Jamaica does not have one. I've known of people who have gone to Florida and persons who have gone to New Mexico. So they'll book your flight. I don't think you have to pay for that. Book your flight. You have a hotel stay that they put you in, and then they set you up for the Nclex. You have a date and a time, and I think you may have just to provide transportation for yourself once you land in the airport to and fro from the hotel. And they don't normally put you very far, so it's about 15 or 10 minutes from the testing center. Once you reach there, you take your exam, and then after that, you then go back home. And then after that, you're notified the following day to see if you pass your exam. So some tips and advices in preparation for the Nclex, and we can do this in another video. Study every day. Utilize your strategies that I talked about in terms of ABCs. Utilize your Maslow hierarchy. The next thing that was very good that I utilized, form study groups. Look for people who are actually doing the Nclex and study together. Quiz yourself together. That actually works. So because something I may not know, somebody else may know. I used to see people sitting outside under trees, and we know everybody which probably used to work at a team. We sit under trees and they are studying together, question one another together, and just work together. Teamwork makes the dream work. So after your process and you finish the Nclex, the next thing that you'll do, you go back home, you'll relax, and then they set you up in terms of getting jobs, and then you look for jobs. And we're going to talk about that in another video. And in another video, we're going to be talking about my Nclex experience. So bring a chair and bring some popcorn for that one. Trust me. So if you like this video, what I have presented, and you want to know more, come back again. Press the subscribe button and share it with somebody that may like the content. Bye.